So you want to start a plumbing company. I get a lot of comments with people telling me all the time, look, I want to start a plumbing company. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to give you my top 10 things that you need to know, but make sure you hang around to the end because at the end, I'm going to tell you the biggest thing you need to remember and the hardest part about it. Starting a plumbing company is a great deal. And the first three things are really easy. Number one, you're going to start as an apprentice. You're going to go through and get your journeyman plumbing license. Now, I know every state does not have a licensing system like Texas does. But in Texas, you start out as an apprentice. You have to be registered. That helps them keep track of your hours, how long you've been doing it. Because in Texas, you've got to have 4,000 hours to become a journeyman, 5,000 to become a master if you've gone through a Department of Labor approved training program. You can go whatever way you want to go, but if you go open shop and go through your apprenticeship and then get your journeyman, then you've got to wait 4 more years to get your master. Nothing wrong with that. You really need that time to learn. Learn all you can. Number 2 is another big one. Get your master's license or your contractor's license. Now, you need to normally get this done before you do anything else to open a company. And really, that's good because it's going to make sure that you go through the program, you go through the system, you learn all about it, and you know what it takes to become a plumber. Because if you own a plumbing company, you're going to be eventually hiring apprentices, journeymen, maybe even masters, so you'll know the system. Number 3, and this is a good one. What is your specialization going to be? Are you going to do residential? Are you going to do commercial? Are you going to do service or are you going to do new construction? You need to know this really before you open your plumbing company because you don't want to try to do everything because if you're trying to serve everybody in the world, you're really not serving anybody. So pick your specialty and maybe even niche down from that. Are you just going to be a water heater installer? Are you going to be a drain cleaner? Are you going to be a slab leak detection specialist? Guys, there's a lot of different things you can do out there. You're going to learn what it is you really like to do. But I will tell you this, commercial plumbing companies normally make less percentage-wise, meaning if they do $1 million job, they make a smaller percentage than a residential service company that may do $1,000 job. Now, the $1,000 job paying a bigger percentage is not going to make near as much money as the big commercial company paying a smaller one. So you've got to kind of figure out along the way what kind of company you want to be and what do you want to specialize in. What is the thing that you're going to be known for to where when people hear the name of your company, what do they think about? Okay, now those first 3 things, those are things that pretty much everybody's going to go through and do anyway. They're going to figure out what kind of plumber they want to be when they grow up. They're going to start out as an apprentice. They're going to get their journeyman. Then they're going to get their master's. They may become an RMP. They may become a contractor. They may not. So all these first things, those are pretty much what every plumber does throughout the course of his career. But now we get into number 4. Pick a name. Think about your name very carefully. I own Texas Green Plumbing in Richardson, Texas. And y'all can go check out my webpage, see what I do, but we're a residential service company. There's different reasons that we are. One thing that I didn't know when I first started my company, and luckily for me though, that name was not taken anywhere. You want to get that name registered with the Secretary of State, with the county, whatever it is in your area, make sure that you pick your name right. Nobody else has got it and you get it registered. If you're picking a company name and you think you're eventually going to do social media, which I highly recommend, you want to make sure that you can get that name on whatever social media platform you may want to be on. Do you want to have a Facebook page one day? Do you want to have a LinkedIn page one day? What do you want to do? Maybe you want to have a YouTube channel. Make sure you can get that name on any and every platform out there because what may not be popular right now, say you decide, look, I don't want to do TikTok, but a year from now, TikTok is the biggest platform there is. You're going to say, wow, I wish I'd have got my name because somebody else is liable to have it by then. Number 5, this starts getting into the business end of it. Now, if you're a plumber, chances are you don't understand the business end of it. I know I didn't. When I got out, I ended up hiring a coach, Michael Gerber. He wrote the E-Myth books. If you haven't read it yet, read it. Here's why. What I learned, I was a very good technician, but when I got out and opened my own company, I had no idea what to do. I didn't know anything about accounting, bookkeeping, CPA for taxes. I didn't know any of that, and those are things that you're definitely going to have. Make sure that you get everything set up properly from the beginning. What you don't want to do is just make a whole bunch of money that first year, and then come in at the end of the year, you've got receipts scattered from the front pocket of your truck to the back of it. You've got bags of receipts because you've just thrown them in grocery bags. You don't want to be like that. Make sure that you talk to a bookkeeper, an accountant, a CPA. Make sure that you talk to somebody and come up with a system. You want to get everything set up from the very beginning, not just so you're doing things right, but so you're making money, you can track that money, and you're watching the money you spend. Number 6, while you're talking to these people, make sure you get a good invoicing system set up. There's a lot of different software out there that you can buy, a lot of different programs that'll do it for you. Most accountants and bookkeepers like QuickBooks. Nothing wrong with that. We actually use it. But I use a different invoicing system. Now, the invoicing system I love, an HVAC guy came to my house probably 6 or 7 years ago now, put in a new system, shows me my invoice on his tablet. I sign it, fill it out. It emails to me, and I asked him, what is this? When he told me, I checked into it, and that's what we started using. So guys, here's the deal. Find out something to help you watch your money. Invoicing is the right way to do it because you bill your customers, or hopefully you collect when you're there. Invoicing lets you see who hadn't paid, who has paid. It also gives you great reports to know where you're at. How are you doing for the week, for the month? How are you doing for the day? And once you get more plumbers working for you, you're going to want to be able to track all this as close as you can to help you watch how things are going. Number 7, and this is a big one, invest in good equipment. We became a slab leak and leak detection specialist, but the only reason we were able to do that is we invested in the best equipment out there. I think that we happen to have some of the best cameras, some of the best electronic leak detection equipment, but we've also got some of the best equipment that isn't electronic. When you are getting ready to start up your own company, think about what kind of equipment you want to have. And with me, with equipment, one thing I wish I'd have done, I started out with old used vans. Don't get me wrong, they're good and I've got my money's worth out of them. But every time one breaks down, I'm down a plumber, or I've got a vehicle in a shop and we have to juggle things around, move things around. And guys, that's a real pain. I wish that in the beginning, I would have gone ahead and invested in a nice big vehicle like I wanted, but I thought, you know what? I'm going to play it tight right here. And guys, you may have to, in the beginning, invest in good equipment. Everything from sewer machines, cameras, power equipment. Think about what you're investing in and make sure you're spending your money wisely. Number 8, and this is one most people need help with, set your pricing properly. You've got to be able to figure out what it costs you to do business. And what I mean by that is you can call every plumbing company around and ask them their pricing. Now, used to, plumbing companies would tell you that because everybody was an hourly rate, T&M. Everybody had a price that they charged per hour. So people would just call around, find out who's charging the cheapest amount, and use them. The only problem is with that, the guy charging the cheapest amount doesn't always know what he's spending, what it's costing him to do work. I've got friends that have a very low cost and still do T&M. They still work by the hour. I've gone to a flat rate pricing and I like it because my plumbers and myself can actually tell our customers what the job's going to cost before we start. We always put an exclusion in there saying, hey, look, could run into some things that we can't see right now. Maybe it's in a wall, maybe it's under the house. We always make them aware of that up front, and we do everything we can to stay with what we told them. If things have to change, we cover it with them first. But here's the deal. I know what it cost me. I know what it costs for my vehicles. I know what it costs for my labor. I know what it costs for my benefits. I know what my overhead costs. And you've got to factor all that in because you've got to know at the end of each day, are you making money or not? And that's why I say don't just compare yourself to another company. They may be losing money and not even realize it. And if you're comparing your numbers to theirs and you're going to lower it to beat their price, guess who's losing money faster? Now, before I go any further, remember, this is so you want to start a plumbing company. I've only gone through 8 steps that I think, are you sure you still want to do this? Because I'm telling you, there's a lot left. And the ones that are left are really important. Number 9. Number 9's a big one. Learn to network. And I say this because when you first start your plumbing company, You're going to have a lot of time, but not a lot of money. And I know that because I literally started my plumbing company with almost no money in the bank. You're going to have a lot of free time. Here's what I recommend. Get out and find a great networking group. Me, I found a couple. I started out in Master Networks. Master Networks was great for me because it helped me build a weekly networking group of people that help refer me. And once you start building your tribe, your community, your group of people that are going to tell other people about you, that helps a lot. The other one, Network After Work. And I did that because it was a great way in the evening, if I wanted to go meet a whole new group of people, I could go meet people, tell them about my business, help them with theirs if it was anybody that I could refer people to. And guys, that is a great thing to do. It helps you learn to build a community and help other people. And if you're helping other people, they want to help you too. Number 10. This is the big one. Never stop learning. Guys, think about what we're in. We're in a trade that is ever changing. We get new code books every 3 years. Things are continuously changing. There's new products, new materials, new tools. If you get set in your ways and you never continue your education, you're going to get stuck. For a Texas plumbing license, you've got to do continuing education. But guys, I'm talking more than that. Are you staying current on what's going on with new products, new tools, and new materials? Because those things can change the way you do your business. If you can find a way to take a job that you do and cut your labor in half, why not do that? And with the right tools, the right materials, you may be able to. There's nothing worse than getting out on a job and it taking forever. And then you look at somebody else and you find out they've got a better way to do it. They're doing it faster. They're doing it better, and they're making more money than you. Education and knowledge and continuing to learn about our trade, that's what it's all about. And if you keep doing that, you're always going to keep moving ahead. That's number 10, and that's the big one. But I got 2 tips for you. And these are things that you really need to know. Number 1, your employees are your biggest asset. And as long as you take care of your employees, invest in them, invest in their learning, invest in their training, invest in the time that you spend with them, working with them to help them grow. Because remember, these people represent you and your company. And the kind of culture that you're trying to build depends on what kind of time and what kind of things you do with your employees. Not only are employees your biggest asset, labor is your biggest cost. So if you're working with these employees and helping these employees learn to get better, to do things better, and to do things faster, it's going to come back and help you in the end. Are you investing time in them to learn? Or are you investing time in you to learn? Because that's going to be big both ways, but I promise you, it will help your company. The other big thing is, guys, look, this is hard. I know you can do it because I know I did it. And look, I was not the smartest turnip that fell out of the truck, but I promise you, if you work hard enough and you do these things right and you go through these steps and think about what kind of company you want to be, you can do that. But let me tell you what, it takes a lot. You are going to work harder than you've ever worked in your life. And one of my best friends told me that, and I thought he was crazy. I thought, you know what? You work for yourself, you've got it made. To be honest, working for yourself is the hardest job you're ever going to have. You're going to work harder, you're going to work longer, and you're going to do more than you've ever been asked to do before. But if you want to make it as a company, you're going to do it. Because once you have other families depending on you for food, for groceries, for their kids' education, for their houses, for their bills, you start laying awake at night worrying about how to make that phone ring. And guys, if you do the things that I've talked about in here and do them right and go through everything that it takes to do it, you can make it too. If you've already got a company and you've already done a lot of these things, do me a favor, leave me a comment down below and let me know how it worked for you. And if you are starting up a company, also leave me a comment down here. If you ever need to, you can reach out to me and ask me anything. I'll do anything I can to help. And if you hadn't noticed, it's so you want to start a plumbing company, but to be honest, you could be starting an electrical company, an HVAC company, a landscape company, a roofing company, a painting company, anything in the world. Anyway, I hope this helped. I'm Roger Wakefield, Lead AP, the expert plumber. I'll see you in the next video if you don't get flushed.